I'll figure it out. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everyone's a Critic. I'm your host, Kojo, joined by my lovely Queenie. Today we're going to talk about a lot. We have a new format. We've been watching a lot. We've across films and TV shows, Love Island. There's a lot happening in this summer. We want to break it down in like a nice digestible format. There's a lot of TV shows and films that we want to make space to have a conversation about. That we're going to get into with this episode here. So do stick around. Hopefully TV shows and films and whatnot we mentioned will be in the description below. So do check them out. And then let us know also what you're watching at the moment. Because
baby.
A lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I love it.
Queenie, how you doing, my dear?
I'm good. I sound a bit raspy, a bit mysterious, because my best friend got married this week. So that was just 2 days of full-on screaming. Like I was at some kind of concert. Still recovering from that, but doing good. Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. No screaming like on this side, no yelling. It's been a polar opposite weekend because I've had a very calm Sunday in terms of like self-care. Took myself to the cinema to see a 60s film I'm going to talk about in a bit. Face masks, no strips, taking it easy, gonna light some candles, get ready for bed.
Come on.
Nice wind down from
I love that.
Which I'm excited for. So
I need a weekend like that, to be honest. But
especially if you've been turning up this weekend. Like good shout.
Good.
But all right, so Queenie.
Kojo.
How you doing, my dear?
I'm good. What films have you been watching this week? What have you been interested in?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Queenie. I'm glad you asked.
Thank God for the format.
I'll start with the film I saw today. I took myself to the Prince Charles Cinema in Leicester Square in London to go and see Sanjuro, which is a 1960s Japanese film made by like a super famed, renowned director, Kurosawa, who has I was checking out his catalog. He's done so many films. It's actually ridiculous. But this was a black and white film based on like a samurai, kind of has this kind of Ronin, which is like a wandering samurai mystique about him. And basically was, I guess the film whole plot is around him freeing a captured, like a mayoral figure from a clan, who was like captured, being set up and blah, blah, blah. Things they're trying to rescue this man. But it's so like funny at the same time. We're just in almost like not even a slapstick way. It's just certain parts of it are so humorous.
Like on purpose.
Yeah, on purpose. Oh yeah. It might be one of those films that you're watching, and if you're not aware that it's being intentionally kind of ridiculous, then you might be like, oh yeah, this is kind of cringe. But it's not. It's like it's definitely intentionally funny.
Okay.
I had a great time. I had a great time in that film. It was only about like an hour and a half, so not like too long. But I really want to get more into like Japanese cinema. I've seen a couple of like black and white films. There's another film I saw this time last year. I was trying to think of the name of it. I can't recall. But I'm just trying to get more into Japanese cinema as well, which I think is really good.
Okay.
I had a great time. I had a great time. But yeah, I mean, if anyone's interested in Japanese cinema from the 60s, check out Kurosawa's work. Or sign up to the Prince Charles Cinema mailing list, because they do all sorts of movie screenings. They're one of those cinemas that do like 24-hour, like all night screenings as well.
Oh, I've seen those. I've seen the Disney ones.
Yeah, I've never been to one, but I'm intrigued.
Yeah, they look so good. I feel like when I was younger, I would have definitely had the stamina, but nowadays I'd be asleep. But it's still something that I would want to do, that I'd want to experience.
Yeah, I will need to like take in a lot of Red Bulls and coffee to get through that process, but I'm intrigued.
100. This week, in terms of films, I yesterday on a whim went to go and see Jurassic World Domination or something. Dominion. Who knows?
Says it all, really. Says it all.
Yes. It was like I said, it was on a whim. It's not like I planned to do this. Has she seen the other Jurassic Parks? That would be a resounding no. Except the first one, which I am actually really, really fond of. Which is why I was kind of inclined to see this one, because I saw like some of the original characters and I was like, oh, like this might, bring back some memories and whatever. Anyway, absolutely trampled them. Trampled any memories I had. Just watch the original. Is what I learned from that. Yeah. What can I say?
Is that your review? Just watch your original.
Yeah. What can I say? Like dinosaurs. Raw.
Scary. No.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Fair. I have no interest in watching that film, so I'm gonna take your word for it. Again, like big up you. I feel like you took a hit for everyone.
Yeah, I did. I also didn't pay when he do it. So
won't he do it? Won't he do it?
When he do it? Because the Lord knows. Yeah. He knew.
Fair. Two films I want to mention as well in this section. One film franchise that I want to mention I've seen over the last week. I saw Hustle, Adam Sandler's new film that came out on Netflix.
Oh yes, I wanted to watch that. It's good, right?
Watch it.
I've seen really like really good headlines about it, which is probably,
it's a good film.
The love of my life. I love her.
Say who?
Queen Latifah.
She had a Hot Ones interview come out this week.
I saw that.
Same.
Funny. I saw that. She needs her flowers right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Like I had a piece like 2 or 3 years ago that I'd written about her, because she's just incredible. Like she's just like everything.
Honestly.
Everything.
I think this will be the film to bring out that discussion about giving her flowers, because I hadn't seen her in a lot recently. So I didn't know she was going to be in this. So watching the film and being like, wait, is that Queen Latifah? That was my exact response to me, like, right, it's Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And go on.
So I was just gonna say, she's been working. Like she does. I think she does like The Equalizer. Like she's in a TV show basically, like that has been renewed and all this stuff. Like she was in Ghost. Like she did have like a little break, of course, like after doing like those like comedy films, like Barbershop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she would do like those kind of films, but she's amazing. She is.
The film is definitely worth watching. I think even if you're not an NBA basketball fan, it's a story, to be honest, that you've seen play out a million times, in terms of like almost like it's a rags to riches story, kind of pulling yourself up by the bootstraps and having people invest in you and support you, even though you don't necessarily have the support network around you. It's a plot line you've seen a million times. However, just the way it's done, it's really well shot. It's like some great performances in there from Adam Sandler. Again, seeing him in another role, like just off the back of Uncut Gems, which she crushed it in, and seeing him crush it again in this film, I'm really here for the resurgence of Adam Sandler in people saying like serious roles. Like I don't really want to demean the other stuff he was doing as unserious, or even say like Uncut Gems was a serious role. It's just him doing more challenging roles and different roles.
I would say like just becoming more well-rounded and showing his range. Like
honestly, range is the key word there. And anyway, I don't want to spend too long on Hustle, but it was really great, especially if you're an NBA fan, but also if you're not.
I'll definitely check that out this week, 100%.
The tied to that, the other film I quickly want to mention that I'm watching at the moment is the unexpected, or my goodness gracious, the unbearable weight of massive talent, which is one Nicolas Cage's film.
Oh, and it's about Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I've seen the trailer for that. It looks quite funny.
I'm about I only got like half an hour more to go. I had to stop because I have to go and watch Sanjuro. I had a ticket for that. But so I will hopefully have something to say more on it next week. But it's one of those films where 20 minutes into it, I was like, I like this film. I like this film. Parts of it, I can't lie. It's meta in a way I kind of like, but I don't like. There's a plot line in there which I'm like, I don't like this, but they make a point out of referencing why they have this plot line in the film because it becomes such a meta thing.
Right.
But I want to see where it goes before I give any judgment. So
yeah, I think I like the idea of it for sure. Like I love it. Like kind of ripping into yourself in a tasteful way is how I've perceived it through the advert. So through the trailer. But yeah, I'll definitely add that to my list for sure.
Yeah. And sorry, just before I like end films stuff for me, I quickly want to mention one franchise I have been getting into that I will reserve a kind of more fleshed out discussion until I finish the franchise because there's a lot of films in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Mission Impossible. So whoa! What was that?
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, Mission Impossible. Okay. I recently started watching Mission Impossible, the franchise. So I started with 1, then I watched 2 and 3. 2 is not good, but 1 and 3 are surprisingly quite good. Like 1, which came out, I don't know, I think it's 1997, maybe. Like it's old. Or 97, 99 is old, but it's really, really good. And then 3 is also quite good. So anyway, it just really surprised me. I saw a Twitter video from one of the latest ones where I was like, right, these stunts are crazy. And Tom Cruise does his own stunts in these. And you just get more and more and more outlandish and like kind of gut-wrenching. Like this is a, let's say regular person, but this is not a stunt actor.
He's not
stunt actor. It's not. So seeing kind of the stunts he's doing, I'm like, oh god, it's exhilarating. So anyway, have 3 more of these to watch, and before the next one comes out, like I think next year. So, but I'm surprised. I didn't want to watch it, and then I started, and it's like, oh, these are actually quite good. So anyway, that's that. That's all the films. Do you have any films you want to mention, or Jurassic World is everything to you right now? Anyway, Queenie, I'd like to talk about TV shows. Obviously, I know you're a big TV show person, so I'm interested to hear what TV shows that you've been watching over the last week have been, what you're interested in. Talk to me.
Yeah, so, well, maybe you don't. Over here, at Everyone's a Critic, we like The Boys, okay? We're big fans of The Boys. Granted, I'm quite late to the game in the sense that I started it early this year and completed it in literally 24 hours. Don't ask me how I did it. It just happened. But that's how good it is. So we've been waiting I've been waiting maybe half a year for it to come out, for season 3 to come out. And everyone, it did not disappoint. For me, it was a really, really stellar opening to a season.
Just before you carry on, I guess we'll do non-spoilers, a general kind of overview of how we're feeling the season, and then we'll go into spoilers, but they will be time-stamped below. So if you want to skip over spoilers, if you haven't seen the latest few episodes of The Boys, season episode 1 to 3, then
episode 1 to 3. There is a 4th episode out, but we haven't seen it just yet. But episodes 1 to 3, they released all of them last Friday, and then it's going to be weekly from now. So, which I actually quite appreciate that format, because myself and Koji have had this discussion about how sometimes on Netflix or whatever, they'll release the whole season, or they'll release them weekly, or they'll do what Stranger Things did, which is release 7 episodes and then go, and then you got 2 films at the end. Or what do they do with, what was the show?
Better Call Saul. I'm so angry. They'll release them weekly, and then just stop. And you're like, that was just one part. And you're like, well, why didn't you just give me the whole part at once? Why did you make me wait? And now I have to wait till July. Anyway.
Yeah. So I appreciate the Amazon format for this franchise, I guess, because because they know that you've been waiting for it, right? So they say, here's 3 hours, live your life. Yeah, and then you've got to get through 3 hours, and then we'll release it weekly afterwards. Thank you very much. Sorry,
I like the format. I just started laughing when I remember the tweet about someone saying to Jeff Bezos, son, your bald head, release episode 4, wake your bald head up. It was so silly. It was a silly tweet.
What we were all thinking, but
anyway.
Yeah. funny guy. But yeah, so do we enter into spoiler town now?
Still broadly, like, how are you finding the season though?
How am I finding the season? I think the season is going well. Like, you know, Butcher, he's going through some stuff. Homelander is by far my favorite character. I'm sorry. Like, I that's it. That's a tweet. Like, he's my favorite character. The commitment of the actor, right? And the justice that he brings to this role is like delicious, right? This man is so evil and will do it with the smiliest smile. I love it. Inject it. Like, corruption. And you can see how mad he is, but he also, like, low-key makes it make sense.
Yeah.
Like, I believe you.
Yeah.
I believe that you could probably take over the world. It's true.
Who's gonna stop you?
You are doing us a favor. Like, yeah, we get it. You are God. We get it.
He really embodies, like, oh, who's gonna slap me? Like, who's really gonna slap me? Energy. You're like, oh,
what are you gonna do?
Fair enough, bro. For you, I mean, you got it. But
yeah.
Anyway, I echo the same sentiments. I think I'm really happy with how, like, this is in terms of how the season returned. Oh my goodness, it's one of the strongest returns of a show that I can recall in recent memory. And just in terms of, and I say strength, just in terms of making me sit down and be like, oh wow, okay, we're here. Cool. Like, let's go.
I think I forgot how, like, I almost forgot how graphic it is.
Yes.
How violent it is.
Yeah.
I forgot all of those things.
Just how nasty it could be as well. At times. Which is actually really important, maybe to say up front. If you haven't seen The Boys, watch the first episode will really tell you. About like what you're getting into. The first episode will tell you exactly what you're getting into with The Boys.
Yeah,
so it might be, it might not be. Do you want to do spoiler stuff then?
Spoiler stuff. I mean, the main thing for me was how, like, I just want to know, and it's a similar. I feel like we've had this discussion previously about Atlanta, how people come up with these concepts, right? Because I want to know. Do you know what? Knowing Seth Rogen, he was probably high. In fact, definitely high when he thought, and then what's his name? I've forgotten his name.
Basically, Termite or something.
Yeah, there's a soup who's known as Termite person. Like, he's like Ant-Man, but in Bortland, in Bortworld.
Yeah.
And suddenly, you hear so, and he's gay, right? So he's in a situation where he's about to, pleasure his partner or whatever, and his partner goes, oh, I want you inside of me, right? So obviously you're thinking one thing, right? Whatever you were thinking, I'm thinking. Because suddenly Termite Man, who was at this point a fully grown person, shrinks to the size of a termite, climbs over some mountains of cat, and, like, he's trying to find his way over a table or whatever, and climbs into his partner's penis, into the urethra.
See, I heard people say penis, and I thought he was in his anus, but I've heard one other person say it was penis. I was like, oh, fair enough.
Was it not?
I thought it was his anus, because then his partner was like, how do you make your way to the prostate? No. He was inside his body. Let's say it. He was inside his body.
He was inside his body, guys. He was inside his body. Yeah. And bearing in mind that they'd already kind of set it up at the start of the episode, because I had to go back and watch it. I had to rewatch it because it was this crazy. And he sneezed, achoo, at the start, right? So he was having allergies, okay? And so now we see him in his body, in his partner's body, right? And he's kind of like realizing, oh crap, like I'm like, my allergies are flaring up, like I'm gonna need to sneeze. And as he sneezes, grows back into his fully formed self, adult self, and ends up killing his partner because he was inside of him, and now and now he's not.
Yeah. In the most graphic way.
Yeah. It was shocking, but then I was like, this is why I love this show though, because who does this, who thinks of this and then films it and then actually like releases it? Like, it's crazy.
I wonder if it happened like that in the comics now. I'm kind of curious because obviously The Boys as a show is like adapted from a graphic novel. So I'm wondering now I'm very curious to go and see if that actually happened in a graphic novel.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen and Co being like, what's the most fucked up thing we can do with this particular power? Because that was a theory a lot of people had, or suggestion a lot of people had for Ant-Man, of how Ant-Man can really kill Thanos. Is, bro, just get inside him and go giant man.
Oh, interesting.
Unless he has like buns of steel or whatever, then just go inside him and get big. Then what's he gonna do?
Very interesting. I didn't know that.
So, but I mean, it's Marvel, it's Disney. You're not gonna see that. But The Boys, they can do that. So
exactly. Which is why I really like The Boys, because it does definitely. It does everything that they can't really do with Marvel. Like even Deadpool, which was the reason why I really liked Deadpool when it first came out, like the first one, because like it did exactly that, and it was everything I needed, with the swearing and with the how graphic it was, and how I really liked that. So I like that we're getting like we've elevated above that to actually more enjoyable, because I think Deadpool got a bit insular after a while, if that makes sense.
In what way?
Like it became a bit too meta, like
like self-referential about itself, kind of like a parody of a parody almost.
And I was kind of like, okay, I'm over it.
I get that. With The Boys, I want to say I'm really happy with how watching this slow unraveling of Homelander's sanity is eerily captivating.
Yeah.
Because it seems like if he wasn't such a douchebag, there would be some, I don't know, sadness for him. Do you know what I mean? Some sort of like, I feel bad for you.
Yeah.
But he's so irredeemable as a character, and continues to be irredeemable by doing irredeemable things, such as encouraging somebody to, unalive themselves off a building, and then to make the Deep eat one of his fellow sea folk, who has a name, a family's praying for his life. A lot of there's so much going on.
I love it. I love it. And to be honest, I do feel sorry for him.
It's hard not to, because you're watching, you're like, wait, no, what do you mean? He's making people. Wait, why do you feel sorry for him? All I've said is the horrible things he's doing. Like, why do you feel sorry for him?
His whole life is a lie. He didn't know he had a son. Yeah, I feel sorry for him, because I feel like he genuinely feels like he's the only person carrying the world. Like, he genuinely feels like that, and I'm like, I love it. And if you believe that, I believe it.
Man, it's kind of, he's a petulant child. He's a petulant child. And seeing like him lose Stormfront, which I didn't expect Stormfront to still be alive. So seeing her now alive and still doing her like
Anakin Skywalker.
Best Anakin Skywalker impression. They're still like doing sexual things that, like, whilst she's able to in bed, it's the most like awkward kind of sound effects and everything else. So when she finally like passed, and then seeing how that happened on his birthday, and he is the center of the world in his eyes, so he's just constantly being reminded that no, like, no, you're not the center. Like, even in the Seven, Starlight is now the center. Because
they have to share.
They
have to co-lead or
So I'm watching. I'm liking the slow unraveling of his sanity.
I will say the one character right now that I'm not really feeling is Huey. Like, seriously, over it. Like, why are you so insecure? Stop, please. Like, over it. Like,
I like Hugh a bit more in this season.
Storyline, that C/D storyline, I'm good without it. Like, I don't need it, you know.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
I like Hugh more in this season. I think because he seems to be more. He's more. Huey's always been like a bit of a Weasley character, but he seems more sure of himself now. Even when he found out that the I don't know what her role is, the person that runs like this new agency, the superhero agency, Rania.
Yeah.
This person that turns out to be the adopted daughter of Juan Carlos Esposito's character. That once Huey found out that she's a soup, and was like, "Oh, Butcher's gonna, lose his mind over this." And he before, I think Huey would have been like, "Oh man, I can't tell him. Oh, I'm just gonna hold on." And he was like, he just picked up the phone, and was like, "She's a soup. She's a fucking soup."
Yeah.
And then that was it. And I was like, "Oh, thank you. I don't want to drag this stuff up." But I fully hear your point. His character as a character is a bit.
Yeah.
It can grate on you. It can grate on you.
I thought I was gonna get more from him. One other show before we move on, I would just like to talk about quickly that I've been watching is Ozark. Now, as a TV lover, for a long time, I put off Ozark for the longest time because I think I started it a couple of years ago and I was like, this is good. Then I started again last year and I was like, yo, I don't know who lied, but this show is so rubbish. But then I was doing my hair last week. Just so, and when you have like 8 hours to waste, I was like, well, if I've got 8 hours to waste, let me just at least plow through and see if like the 8 hours will bring something for me from the show. Excellent, exquisite, delicious, fantastic, terrific. So good. And that's the tweet. Really enjoy it. Jason Bateman is like, I love him. And it's nice. He's another one who started out in what's that film? That really popular series?
Arrested Development?
No, that was funny though. That other one where they go on holiday. The Bachelor? The Stag Do?
Don't know.
It's actually so popular. The one where they don't the Hangover. Come on.
Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman.
Is he not in that?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Anyway, he was in some funny stuff before, basically, and now it's like nice to see him like in a more serious role.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I've been thinking about seeing it, but then I haven't really got around to it. I tried like a couple episodes here and there, but I don't know. I feel like it's a show like you just said, like you have to sit down and really just get through them and be like, oh wow, okay, maybe it'll just hit you a bit. I'll take your word for it.
Very good.
Okay, I want to mention one other TV show that I have been watching, which you have seen, which I tried to recommend to you, then you were like, "Oh, I really recommended it to you before." Okay.
Right. Tried it.
Which I'll start by saying, Love Life season 2.
Period.
Wow. You and seemingly everyone else on my Instagram had seen this before me. I'm so late to the party with the show. Like even people who I don't think are really into TV like that, especially like HBO shows, because of how not easily accessible it is, and if you haven't got like a subscription and everything else.
Because it's on BBC.
Really?
It's on BBC iPlayer.
Oh, that makes sense. Because I had people messaging me when I posted it on my story, like, "Oh, I Love Life season 2, 10 out of 10. Spoiler alert, 10 out of 10. But people were just messaging me like, "Yeah, this I love this show last year." Everyone's like, "I saw this show last year." I'm like, "Oh, where the hell was I? Like, what was I doing?" Anyway, so Love Life season 2. Wow. I've never seen a on-screen spoilers as well, because this show came out in October, so like October 2021. But I've never seen a TV character represent my own romantic encounters so acutely.
Right.
across the board. It's so many relationships and situationships and encounters you see him go through where I'm like, oh my God, like
reading me like a book.
I've been there, or I know people who are there.
Yeah.
The storyline with like Mia and Marcus from the start, and I really like Mia from Jump Street. I'm like, oh, I like this. Then you find out obviously that he's married, and then they're doing the whole flirty thing. I want to make a point that the show captures male friendships in a really positive light.
Oh yeah,
really positive light. Particularly the dynamic between, especially between Yogi and Marcus, main character, and his best friend. But also with, I always say Stewie because I could only see him as Stewie from Succession, but I believe his name is Keon.
I forgot his name of the show.
But I'm just gonna call him Stewie because he's always gonna be Stewie to me. I think at this point he's also in Spider-Man, but Stewie. But it just captures the beauty of like male friendships when they're honest and about supporting each other and being, you know, loving on your friends. And you don't really see that a lot. I was speaking to a friend the other day about it, and they mentioned how it might reminded them about Insecure and seeing like Lawrence and Derek and Chad and seeing that kind of, that was also an example of like how male friendships can be like, you know, really uplifting and really supportive. But I don't think that got as deep as what I saw in Love Life, where it's really about, Yogi was telling Marcus from episode 1, he's like, lock that shit off with Mia. Like, it's like, you will blow up your marriage, lock it off. And I really appreciate it because typically what you find with a best friend and with a side character is a side character would, especially if they're like the comedic relief, they'll push them into it. They'll like, yo, egg them on, like, yo, go true. Especially guys. Like, go true. Yeah. And he was like, lock that shit off. Like, lock it off. And Marcus didn't listen and then blew everything up. I really liked the show. I thought it was a brilliantly written show. I'm hoping and praying and begging for season 3. I've done my Googles. There's no confirmed plans for season 3, but I'm hoping. But anyway.
You should go back and watch season 1. While you're there, you might as well.
Everyone's told me to skip it. Some people have said they've watched it, but no one said it's good.
I wouldn't say it's not good. I would say, like, as in, I watched season. To be fair, I watched season 1 because, like, I knew I was going to watch season 2. Does that make sense? Because I saw your boy. What's his name? What's the guy's name from it?
William Jackson Harper.
Right. So I saw him and I was like, I love you, so I'm watching this for you.
Yeah.
But I mean, while you're there, do you know what the show also? Did you ever watch Modern Love?
No, but that's another one that has been mentioned to me. I think you actually mentioned it to me.
Yeah. So Modern Love, very similar, but it's an anthology series, so like every episode is different.
Okay.
But I quite like this because it's still got that anthology element to it, but you get entire seasons, so they're able to flesh out the story a bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, this show. So there's one quote from Love Life season 2 that changed my perspective. Right.
I feel like I know what quote it's going to be, but carry on.
And it was so basically at this point, spoiler alert. At this point, Mia, we now find out that she had cheated on your boy. What's his name? What was his name on the show?
Marcus.
On Marcus. She cheated on Marcus, and then the narrator he says something along the lines of like, Marcus knew that his heart could get broken for the second time, but essentially like that would have been worth it. The pain would be the pain would be better than not trying at all, basically. So the pain of his heart being broken for the second time would be better than the pain of him not trying to make the relationship
work. I
was like, damn, like, because in my head I was like, you're really gonna go on one date and forgive her? Really?
I was heartbroken for Marcus.
Like, you're gonna go on one date, you're gonna go out with her to meet up with her once, and then suddenly like you're back together. But then you hear the quote and you're like, damn, that makes sense though.
They had such good chemistry where it again reminded me of Lawrence and Issa season 4, episode 8, we referenced this a lot, I find, but like it reminded me of like their chemistry from Jump Street was so well attuned to each other. It's almost impossible to not see them being together, and like thankfully they do get together. And I find, putting myself in Marcus's shoes, I find it hard to be like, oh, I'll take that person back who, you know, committed this infidelity. Even no matter where they've come from in terms of the reasoning for it. But I respect Marcus, and I respect people that are able to work through that so much, because I think that to me is also love. Whereas like, you're flawed, I'm flawed, I forgive you, like truly, in terms of I'm not gonna hold this over. Like I want us to move forward together. You know, in a way where this won't happen again, because we now really understand each other and build something, you know, that's truly dedicated to like our love and our union. And I respect it so much. I respect it so much. And it was such a great ending, I think. The show. So thank you for the recommendation, Queenie. I really appreciate it.
Of course. And I'll take yours on board as well.
What's on your radar, if anything, that you're interested in like watching this week?
This week, definitely going to watch Hustle, because you've mentioned it. And I've been meaning to watch it. It's on my watch list. I'm also interested in watching a show called Flight Attendant.
Okay.
It's got what's her name? Kelly, is it Kelly Kuso? Kelly, hold on. Kaylee Kuko. Wow, that was so wrong. The chick from Big Bang.
Okay.
Yeah. And basically it's about, so she's a flight attendant basically who is an alcoholic and wakes up in a hotel room and there's been a murder. Looks really good. Checked out the trailer. I think it's on HBO, which isn't that accessible. But no, it's on Sky. I've seen it on Sky as well. Because I've got, so it's on Sky, so you can watch it there. But it's good. It looks good. So I'm definitely going to check that out as well this week. I think I might give that a go. And then obviously continue with The Boys and continue with Ozark.
Nice. Yeah. Cool. I'm going to be hopefully getting to the next 3 movies in the Mission Impossible franchise.
How many are there again?
I believe there's 6.
Okay.
I believe there's 6. 6 or 6, I think 7 is coming out, if not already out, but something like that. Hold on. Mission Impossible. There's a lot. I think it's 6 there. So I'm going to try and get to the other 3 in that trilogy. In that franchise. There's too many of them. And then I'm also going to try and get to or start watching Russian Dolls, which was recommended to me.
I've not seen season 2 for that, but season 1 was...
I was told to only watch season 1 because it should have stopped there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
interesting.
I did see one YouTube video essay talking about how they dropped the ball on season 2, how basically nobody saw it, nobody's talking about it, and then it made the parallel between Succession season 2, because that was a season of Succession that blew up. So it was like Succession season 2 was like here, and then, you know, from no momentum, and then Russian Dolls, which had all the momentum from season 1, was just like no one cared about, or just like no one cared, like no one saw it. So it was
interesting. Okay.
And not based on necessarily quality, but just based on, I think it was based on marketing, to be fair. But how Netflix might have dropped the ball with this one. But anyway.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because I remember when Russian Doll first came out, and I was like, okay. And I watched it early this year. And I thought it was all right. Personally, I didn't think it was life-changing. But I thought it was nice.
Yeah.
But that's a shame about season 2. But I'll definitely that will have to come later, since you're saying it's not as great.
I'll check it out and hopefully let you know. I'll check out season 1 if it's worth sticking around. I'll get season 2, I'm sure. But that's really it. The Boys as well. Looking forward to carrying on with that. So
yeah. Oh, and Ted Lasso I've been watching this week as well, and want to continue with that.
Same. Yeah, need to pick that up again. That was surprisingly enjoyable. First few episodes of Ted Lasso I saw. So
yeah.
Cool.
Listen, it's been a whirlwind.
Yeah. With with that, Queenie, this is lovely. Really enjoying this new format. There's a lot of content that we're covering and that we get to dive into this coming week.
Yeah.
So yeah, excited. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Draw it to a close here. Do check us out on the social media platforms, the Critics Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and obviously YouTube. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you got this far, you might as well subscribe, to be fair. Like,
period.
Let's not be stingy with the subscribe button. There's no need. But yeah, we'll be doing this on a weekly basis. So do check back for the next breakdown, and yeah, let us know what you're watching as well.
Yeah, man. Love it. Thanks, Coach.
All good. All right, take care. Have a lovely weekend or week.
You as well.
All right,
Peace.